YouTube, what is good? It's your boy Jason from the Lock Talk, and I'm back for another NBA game day breakdown for March 3rd, 2025, man. We're in a new month and in a new week. It's Money Making Mondays. So let's go make some money today. We have a big slate of NBA games, and man, we've been having a great start to our month, bro. We had 2 straight winning days with a sweep last night in the NBA. Add another game-winning day with a last-second shot by Trey Murphy. Got a random tech, got us the over. But hey, look, it doesn't matter how you win. It's if you win by 1, if you win by 20, the payout's exactly the same. So congrats to everyone who's been tapped in, man. Getting the free plays, getting in premium. We've been absolutely crushing it to start the month. So I'm looking to continue this. It's my birthday week, bro. I turned 32, believe it or not, this Wednesday. So I think the energy is just on a new level. The vibes are good. The mentality's good. So I'm looking to crush this week. So let's start with today, man. Money Making Mondays, the best day of the week. As I always say, new week, new money. But guys, if you want to make some more money or you want to be able to bet with the best lines in the game, I got to introduce you guys once again to Novig. So let me go pull it up right here. And honestly, especially if you're in a state like California, Texas, it's the best book in the game. They have the best lines because they use peer-to-peer betting. And they also have guys at the company themselves that will take action if you're placing a bet. So you get the best lines better than FanDuel, better than DraftKings. And if you use my code LOCK, L-O-C-K, all in caps, just click this button right here. I'll put a link down in the description down below so you guys, or in the pinned comment, so you guys can get access to this document where I talk about Novig. Sign up, get 50% off your first deposit. So if you deposited $50, all you have to do is put $25 basically to get $50 worth of cash to go bet and go make some money. And it's, again, available in 42 different states. And this is an old example, but just to give you an example, right? Let's say you wanted to bet the over on this game. It was minus 107 on Novig, minus 110 here. If you wanted to go bet on the Denver Nuggets, you got a 4.5 line versus a 5 on FanDuel. So this is just one example. The examples are even more drastic for some other games or for some other bets. So I'd say it's another great option to have in your arsenal. But not only that, you get a free week with us in premium if you do sign up on Novig. So I've been using it. It's available in so many states. So I know a lot of you guys who are not like in New York or New Jersey or in the states where you have every single sports book. You could eliminate kind of like even line shopping, because for the most part, I've done so many tests with all my guys in premium. Many times, this is the best book to be using, bar none. So again, guys, I'd say go use Novig, sign up, and get a free week with us in premium. I'll put it in the pinned comment again. So let's go talk about these games, man. We have a big slate of games today, so please be patient. I'm going to try to go through every single game I do like. And let me zoom in real quick so then you guys get a better view of everything. But let's go straight into this game, bro. Again, if you've been liking the content that we've been dropping, bro, please hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, put a thumbs up, and let me know what type of videos you do want to see. If you guys like these game breakdowns or you want to see just player props. Obviously, we have NCAA March Madness now. We have baseball coming up, and we have a big UFC event coming up. So I will be dropping more content besides this and my vlogs, man. So I hope you guys enjoyed the vlog content. You know, I'm going to make it a little bit more crazy, man, because I do have a lot of stuff I do outside of this, and I think you guys would want to see it, man. So all inspiring, bro, but let's get it going. First game on the board is the Golden State Warriors against the Charlotte Hornets. And look, man, Charlotte Hornets, they've been absolutely terrible. They already played this Golden State team, I believe, a little bit early. They got absolutely blown out the water. But it looks like, you know, the big one, the big thing that I guess the Golden State Warriors didn't have their last game, which I believe they lost against the Sixers, was they didn't have Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is supposed to play today. I don't see any indication that he will not be playing, so that's a good thing in my opinion. Other than that, it's a big spread, man. 12.5 point spread, but I mean, Charlotte has not been able to cover even when they're big dogs. They weren't covering at 17.5 in San Fran against the Warriors. They didn't cover 11th. I mean, the list goes on and on, man. I mean, they've been absolutely terrible, even though they have Bridges, Mark Williams, and LaMelo Ball playing. I mean, kind of crazy, but hey, look, I think simply this Warriors team, just like the Lakers after the trade deadline, it seems like the trade has worked out very well. Their defense has been one of the best in the league. Steph Curry has been an absolute fire shooting. I mean, he absolutely crushed the Magic by himself. He scored like 10 3-pointers or something insane like that. So even though they lost their last game against the Sixers, who are not a great team, I think they can definitely beat down on this Hornets team, who's been very, very lackluster. They don't have the defense or anything to match, in my opinion. But not only that, I really do think that, just the Warriors have a lot more to play for. I mean, they're definitely now in the playoff hunt. They can be in the playoffs, things like that. So I don't know, man, in terms of obviously everyone's going to be on the Warriors, even at this big spread. But I think they could do it again. It's obviously a lot tougher to do it, even on the road. But I mean, it's not my favorite, but I don't like laying a lot of points. But I don't know, I kind of think you've been proven wrong by this Warriors team. Warriors minus 12.5. That's why we'll lean in the first game. All right, in this next game, we got the Portland Trailblazers against the Philadelphia 76ers. Portland's on a back-to-back. They played last night, and the Sixers, hey, man, I mean, they're still terrible, 21-38. Portland, I think their playoff dreams might be crushed. They did have an insane run, but I think they won 11 games in a row. So, hey, I'll say this, man. They made us a lot of money, so I'm definitely very happy for them. I'm very happy with how things turned out. But overall, the one thing they didn't have last game was Jeremiah Grant did not play last game for the Portland Trailblazers. Portland, they were winning this game, bro. They were blowing out the Cleveland Cavaliers, but Cleveland showed why, in my opinion, they're the best team in the East, and they pulled off the W. It wasn't fantastic fashion, but I believe this game was also in overtime, so that's another big, let me actually double check on my phone because you can't see it here, but let me see if this game was in overtime, because if this game was in overtime, yep, this game finished in overtime. I don't know if you guys can see it. OT, this game finished in OT, so they're on the road after OT in Philly. Portland, I will say this, off history, they have not been affected by overtime, by back-to-backs. They've actually been a pretty decent covering team, 60% cover rate on back-to-backs in the last 10 back-to-backs they've had. So, not saying too much, but I'm just trying to say, if in anything, is the back-to-back a big factor for them? Like the Suns, not historically. OT is a little bit different, though, and with travel, it's not the best spot, in my opinion. But, hey, I do think this Philadelphia 76ers team is absolutely terrible. Paul George, he's a game-time decision. I don't know. It looks like he might play, but on the Sixers side, Maxey, Grimes, Oubre have been playing fairly well. Portland's a young team, though, so I think even though they're on a back-to-back with OT, they could probably still be competitive. I think this really is a 50-50 type game. I do think Philly should be the favorite given the situation. Overtime with travel. If Jeremiah Grant plays, I would like it a little bit more. Robert Williams might be back for the Portland side, so that's pretty big as well. He's a big piece off the bench for clinging. But, Portland has a lot of shooters, bro. Simons, Kamara, even guys off the bench, I think are pretty strong. So, I don't know. This is a tough game, bro. I think, this game might be a little bit better for props. Philadelphia 76ers defense has been terrible. And Trailblazers defense has also fallen off a cliff. The one thing, too, I also say is Avdija played incredible in this game. Basically, the offense ran through him. He played 40 minutes. So, how many minutes does he play today? It's really tough for me to want to back Portland, given the situation. So I would slightly lean with Philly. Looks like everyone's kind of on the fence with this. But yeah, to me, I'll take Philly, even though they're laying 3 points. I think the situation's very tough, but we'll see what happens, man. Portland's been okay on back-to-backs. All right, the next game on the board, we got the Washington Wizards against the Miami Heat. Miami, bro, they've been playing pretty good, bro. Looks like a lot of bets are on Miami, but bigger money is on the Wizards. Pretty surprising enough. Wizards, they did not play last night, but they played very well and smoked the Charlotte Hornets. Wizards have actually been a pretty good team for me. I've been actually making money off them in many ways. So I actually like the Wizards. Miami, they were beating the Knicks, but then my Knicks came back and beat the dog crap out of them. Historically, I'll say this, a big trend, maybe it was last year or the past year and a half, maybe, like past 2 seasons. The place you want to fade Miami is at home where they're getting a lot of points. Of course, it's all situational. The Wizards are not a good team, but the Wizards have been not too shabby, bro. Over their last 5 games, they've been covering 50-50, bro. So, it's not been too bad. Miami, on the other hand, they've been 50-50 as well, but this Washington team is kind of scrappy, bro. They've been making games competitive. So the best way, I think, you bet Wizards usually early. You bet them first half, first quarter. Miami, however, they're also a pretty good first quarter, first half team in certain situations. But there's a lot of points, man. Look, on paper, Miami, he has a better defense, but the Wizards' defense has not been too shabby either, bro. I mean, look, Wizards have been, believe it or not, a top 5 defense over the last 5 games. Miami Heat, they've had a pretty solid defense as well, but they've fallen off 22nd in the last 5. So, and you know, the Wizards got guys that can shoot, man, shoot threes. I mean, they don't have the biggest center, so I mean, Khalil Ware and Bam Adebayo might be able to have their way a little bit. That gets me a little bit concerned. But in terms of like how they've been playing, man, Wizards have been playing, in my opinion, pretty decent ball, and I think this game could be a little bit competitive. I think this game is too many points, in my opinion. On a back-to-back for Miami. We'll see if everyone plays. As of right now, Andrew Wiggins, he may be playing. He's a game time decision. He did not play last night, so that's pretty big. So he may come fully rested. He may take some time off for some of these guys. So I'll lay the points with, I will get the points with the Wizards plus 8.5. That's why I'm leading right now, but obviously information can change, especially if Wiggins doesn't play. That's even better for this bet. All right, next game. This is probably the most exciting game on the board. We have the Atlanta Hawks against the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis laying 9.5 points, bro. I mean, Memphis has been on wagon, but hey, they've not been playing as good recently, but all the money, all the bets look to be on the Memphis Grizzlies. They are laying a lot of points, man. I'll say this though, I think Atlanta, I don't know why they made all these trades. It was pretty weird, but they lost a lot of production, a lot of defense, and maybe they're just in rebuilding mode. They have a lot of young guys around Trae Young, who's also fairly young as well. But Memphis, man, they have not been covering anything, bro. They have not covered in their last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, man. Not good. They've also not been winning. They lost in San Antonio, They blew a big lead against the Knicks, lost that. They did beat Phoenix, but they didn't cover that game. They did not cover that game. Let me see. They didn't cover that game. Didn't cover and lost outright to Cleveland. So they've not been playing well, bro. But Atlanta on the other side, they've also been okay. They're 60% covering the last 10 games. That's pretty good. But last 2 games, OKC, Miami, understandable, bro. These are better teams, I think, than them. But I also think Memphis is the better team. Even though they're laying a lot of points, I think Memphis their team is too deep. They're going to they can play at a fast pace with Atlanta. And their defense, the one thing I'll say, the reason why they've not been playing was their defense has taken a huge step back. Man, Memphis at one point was a top 10 defense. And for some reason, they have not been playing like that. They are bottom 25 with OKC. And you saw what happened to OKC last night. They were not playing well in the beginning. They ended up coming back. But I digress. I do think Memphis can cover this big spread, playing at home, their best spot. I know it's a lot of points and they've been very disappointing, but I think this is a game where they can definitely step it up because Atlanta has even a worse defense than Memphis as of late. So I think Memphis, their offense, their deep bench, and the pace that they can keep up with Atlanta will be a huge difference here. And they get a big win. I think they do get a double-digit cover tonight. So give me the Memphis Grizzlies. I'll lay the 9.5 points, but obviously there may be other ways to play it. You could do maybe first halves, quarter bets, but I do think Memphis is the better team tonight. All right, guys, there's another good game. Big West Coast game. I still think the Rockets are still a top team in the West. They're not obviously top 3, but a top team in the West. Oklahoma City Thunder, they're on a back-to-back, but OKC is a great team on back-to-back. I'll show you guys the filter. Unless, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they are back-to-back. See, so on back-to-backs, they've been, not as good in the last 10 at least. 40% cover rate in the last 10 games. Houston, they're not on the back-to-back. They didn't play last night, so everything's all good for them. They played Sacramento last time out. They lost outright, but they do have, I believe they'll have Van Fleet back. But let me see. Actually, no, Van Fleet is out. So no Van Fleet in this game. Amen Thompson looks to be the starting point guard. And as I look at the injury report, I do want to say this too. For that Memphis game, John Morant might not play. So, but given what the line is, I think he does play. But back to this game, Amen Thompson, Dylan Brooks, and Sengun are all game time decisions. I do think they all play because I don't see anywhere where they'll be out. But this is a lot of points, man. Even though OKC is a very, very good team, as of late, they've been playing kind of weak competition in my opinion. Even though they beat the Spurs last night, they were losing pretty early in the beginning. Atlanta, blew them out. Brooklyn, they won, but they weren't playing good in the beginning either. They were losing as well. So maybe you get a sneaky Houston first half early, but it depends who really plays. OKC, it looks like everyone may be playing. I see Chet Holmgren as a game-time decision, and I see Isaiah Joe as a game-time decision as well. Given all these injuries, man, it's really tough to say. If I'm gonna assume that Houston has everyone playing, like they have Thompson, Sengun, and Brooks playing, I kind of like the points with Houston early. I think Houston can keep up with these guys. I will say this, though. The one thing that's a little bit concerning has been Houston's defense is no longer like a top 5. They're like top 10 still. But the reason why I like Houston is that even though they don't have Van Fleet, who I think is a huge piece to this team, OKC's defense has been terrible, bro. That's the reason why the Spurs even had a chance. And the Spurs defense is way worse, bro. So, I don't know. I like Houston with the points. Obviously, there's all caveat that Thompson, Brooks, and Sengun all play. I would love if Van Fleet was playing. If Van Fleet was playing, this is way too many points, but I think Houston can still get the job done. Give me Houston plus 9.5. I wouldn't be surprised if they were winning and then maybe OKC won by like 2 or 3 points at the very end. That seems like what's been happening in a lot of their games. But on a back-to-back, I don't know. I think Houston can take advantage of it, but they've not been playing their best ball recently. But away from their home court, they've actually been playing a lot better than at home. So could be a good spot for Houston to get maybe a sneaky double against a tough West Coast team. And all right, guys, you've been with me this long, man. Thank you so much. We had 2 more games left. These will be the later games. And I think the last one's my favorite one because I just love the Pistons, bro. But please hit the subscribe button, bro. Let's keep on getting these dubs. But all right, the Kings is now against the Dallas Mavericks. And 2 teams that, I mean, I've not been very high on the Kings since the trade. I don't think that was a great trade for them. I think they should have kept the same team. I mean, just look at their record, man. Now it looks like they're closer to 50-50. Mavericks obviously got the terrible end of that trade, man. I mean, Luka's been on absolute fire, bro. What? I don't know. I mean, they don't have a center. That's the problem. Mavericks don't have a center. But, I mean, they will have Dwight Powell back today. Dwight Powell, he's been okay, bro. He's been okay. I mean, he's not been, like, the best player for this team in any respect. But I do think, even with all the injuries that the Mavericks have, they've still been a pretty decent team. But, you know, it's just their defense, bro. Their defense has been terrible. They cannot cover in the paint. But now with the fact that they do have Dwight Powell coming back and playing tonight, maybe their defense takes a step up. We'll see. Obviously, Sacramento, they have no Sabonis tonight. That's the biggest injury on the board right now for them. No Sabonis. That's huge, man. So they're going to have J-Val, Jonas Valanciunas, who I think is actually a pretty good center and definitely a great center off the bench. He can rebound, score points. So I think even though they're missing Domas, I think Valanciunas is not too bad of a replacement. Other than that, I mean, they'll have everyone back, everyone playing, Malik Monk, Zach LaVine. And then on the Dallas side, Kyrie, Max Christie, Thompson. So this game's a close game, bro. I do agree with this line. I don't know if maybe Sacramento should be favorites, but hey, I think this should be a -1 game where Sacramento is the favorite. But dude, it's just like, I just don't like teams where they don't play defense, man. Like that's really it. In terms of where the line is, I mean, it's pretty even. I don't see like huge movement on either side. It's a very 50-50 type game in my opinion. A game where I think Dallas being at home, maybe having Dwight Powell back and Sacramento not having Sabonis playing, I think is a decent miss, even though I do like Jonas Valanciunas a lot. I think it's such a 50-50 game. I would just on default lean with the dog, but that's not really strong analysis. The thing I would say is the one problem that Dallas has is that they just don't, they have not been able to defend paint very well at all. But I guess, right, in terms of where Sacramento thrives in, I think this may change a little bit because Domas ain't playing or Sabonis is not playing. Sacramento is one of the most effective teams at the rim, but they don't take a lot of shots there, bro. It's one of like their least attacked parts. They attack a lot more threes. So I don't know, man. I mean, I think if Sacramento decides to go attack the rim, they can be very effective. So it really depends on what they end up using with Joval playing now as a center. But yeah, it's a tough game for me, bro. I kind of lean with the Dallas Mavericks, but I don't love it. All right, guys, in the last bet on the board, man, last game on the board, we got my Detroit Pistons, bro. They've been one of my favorite teams of the year. Detroit Pistons laying 9 points on the road. Jazz they will be on a back-to-back, but they're at home, so not too bad. And they sat out all of their starters, and it looks like every single starter will be back. Sexton, Markkanen, Collins, and Kessler. I think Kessler for sure will play. I do not know about Markkanen and Collins. Their injuries have kind of kept them on the sidelines randomly or just for a prolonged period of time. So it's tough to say. If I'm not 100% sure if they play or not, how I want to go. Because I do think if the Jazz are healthy, they can compete with any team, West or the East Coast. Detroit, they'll be without no Tobias Harris and still no Jaden Ivey, obviously. So this is a tough game. I do think this is the best game for props. Cade Cunningham, Tim Hardaway, Malik Beasley, great guys to look at for this game. On the Utah side, I mean, Detroit hasn't had a pretty good defense, so it's tough to say. But because of all the injuries and the rotation's been so weird, it's hard for me to make a decision, bro, on this game. I don't want to lay 9 points with Detroit, even though they've been playing excellently, if the Jazz have everyone playing. So if the Jazz have everyone playing, like Sexton, Markkanen, Collins, Kessler, I'll take all the points with the Jazz, bro. I think the Jazz can keep it competitive, especially because Pistons are missing Tobias Harris, and even if you don't think he's that good, I think he's a major piece to this team. He rebounds, he can shoot mid-ranges, and he's a scrappy vet, bro. So give me the Jazz, bro. This is definitely very contrarian. I understand why everyone's so high on the Pistons. The Pistons have been on fire, bro. They've been blazing everyone, bro. Blazing everyone. They lost to the Nuggets. That's totally fine, but they've done an absolute run. It looks like everyone is all over. At least the public bets, a lot of bets are on the Jazz, but looks like the bigger money looks to be on the Utah Jazz. So I don't know. I think with all the points, I don't want to lay 9 points with the Pistons. Simply that, especially if the Jazz have everyone coming back, guys. But all right, man. Thank you so much for tapping in, guys. If you do have any questions, you do want to tap in, you want to join premium, just go to that pin comment or description, and let's go run it up, man. New week, new money, money making Mondays. I'll see you in the next one.